Hey everyone, I just wanted to update you as to where I've been, what's been going on. I'm sure if you follow me on social media, you know exactly what's been going on, but without a doubt, this has been the toughest week and a half of my life. I've been sitting down here by this computer for probably close to 40 minutes now. I don't even know where to begin, how to get this off my chest, but my hope here is that by sharing this story with you, if you happen to be going through it or you know somebody who is going through it, that it could help them, because one thing that I have very much appreciated since all this has been going on has been people sharing their stories with me. People sharing their stories with myself and Beck. We've sat down and read every single message, and it has helped tremendously, realizing that we're not alone in what's going on. So for those of you that don't know, for those that don't follow me on my social media and who just watch here on YouTube, there's been something that I have been keeping from you for the last few months, and I was so incredibly excited to share it with you. One of my big time goals in life is not just to be a content creator. It's not just to put smiles on people's faces. It's to be a dad. I've wanted that for so long. I think I'm going to be an amazing father, and unfortunately that dream kind of just... it evaporated for the moment. Becca and I were pregnant. I laugh at saying that Becca and I, because she was the one who was pregnant, but we were expecting a child. And unfortunately, not this past weekend, but the weekend before, we experienced a miscarriage. We lost the baby. And it has been the toughest thing I've ever gone through. I'm going to really try to hold it together here because, nobody wants to see me cry right now. I don't want to see me cry. I've cried enough, okay? But the best thing for me is to just get this off my chest, to sit here and talk to a camera and get back to some sort of normalcy. But it has been the toughest thing myself or Becca have ever experienced. And what started off as so much joy, so much excitement, so much planning, looking forward to the future, just doesn't, it's not there anymore, right? And it may be there again someday, you know. We've had so many people tell us that, hey, at least you know you can get pregnant. At least you know that this is possible for you guys, that you can try again, and that one in four pregnancies end up with a miscarriage, which is just a incredibly tough stat to hear, right? It's a very difficult thing to hear when you've read it, you knew going into it, you knew there was risks. There's a reason why I haven't told you guys this entire time, because of maybe something like this going down, right? We knew there's always a risk, and unfortunately we are one of those 1 in 4. And you know, it's just tough when you look around at your friends, when you look around at your friends who have beautiful families, right? When some of the closest people to you in life have multiple kids, people that I have grown up with having families, pregnant right now, talking about their futures, dreams, and we were excited to be talking about them with them, looking forward to our kids growing up. And so it's just one of those things that is incredibly difficult to accept. And I know myself that my way of accepting it, my way of processing information, is to share it. As lame as that may sound to some people, as I don't know how some people might not understand, but getting to talk to you, my viewers who have been with me since 2016, hell, that's just wrestling, since 2012. You guys have seen me grow up on this platform. You've experienced life events with me, and you've experienced so much joy, right? This year has been, without a doubt, one of the, it's crazy to say with all this going on, but the best year of my life, right? I got to marry my best friend, and myself and Becca, we just have so much love for each other and so much support in our life that, you know, something like this wasn't expected, right? I'm very blessed to say that things have gone really well for us throughout our relationship. I found my best friend. I got to marry her. We got engaged. We got to go on an amazing honeymoon, all that stuff. Our life has been so filled with joy over the last few years. And for this to come out of nowhere, to be another thing that we thought, hey, this is just so much joy, right? It's our time. And realizing that it's not is a very, very difficult thing to accept. All this has also been going on while I got my freaking wisdom teeth removed. Like last weekend, we had to process this information. We had Monday and Tuesday, and then literally last Wednesday, I had my wisdom teeth out. So if you happen to see my neck being extremely green or like my face looks discolored, it's because it's a lot of bruising going on. This might be gross for some people, but like that's the bruising I have going on right now. It's not fun. And so like I've had to take some time for myself to not only heal up here, to heal in here, but also heal physically, right? And poor Becca, who has been a trooper of all troopers throughout this, being my rock to lean on when I need to lean on her, and then I'm her rock to lean on when she needs me to lean on. But like she had to deal with a Connor who just got 4 wisdom teeth removed all in one go. So that couldn't have been easy. And I know this is going to be rambly. It's going to be extremely rambly, but I need to talk about it, right? You guys are my people. You are my community. And it felt real the moment that I tweeted out what's been going on. Like it felt really, really real. And that is one of the things that, you know, it felt like at times, hey, this wasn't real, right? We're going to wake up from this bad dream. You know, we're going to wake up and Becca will still have my child. But one thing I wanted to share with all of you was how we plan to honor our baby moving forward and remember our baby, because it's one of those things that it's like, how do you grieve a loss of a life that wasn't even born yet, right? Like, how do you go through those emotions? We never got to hold our baby. We never got to meet our baby. We got to see our baby very, very briefly on an ultrasound, but that's the extent of it. So how do you grieve? How do you process that information? And everything we've read has been that just saying like they're your kid, right? You grieve in any way that you can. Everybody processes this information in a different way, and you know, there's no right way to go about it. So what Becca and I have done is we named our little guy. We don't know for sure if it was a guy or a girl, but we both thought it was a guy. And one thing that we kept noticing after all of this was just how beautiful the weather was. You know, the sun was shining, coming down on us literally the moment we left the hospital. There was so much sun. It was such a beautiful day. The next day was beautiful. The day after that was beautiful. And there was this one ray of sunshine that just kept beaming into our house and hitting us in the face, and it felt so warm. And so we named our kid Sunny. And that has helped a lot, being able to put a name to the baby, being able to remember him that way, right? Every time we see the sun now, it puts a little bit of a smile on our face, right? We have plans to go to a tattoo parlor tomorrow, and we're going to get an angel wing each on our arm. I don't have a single tattoo, and I've always said that my first tattoo is going to be something that is incredibly meaningful to me, because that's something I want to carry with me. And so I'm going to get a little angel wing right here, and carry my little angel with me. One thing, though, that I have felt incredibly blessed about is the amount of people who have reached out with their stories and sharing their love and their support, right? Most of them you. Right? Like, yeah, we've had family members who have been incredibly supportful, great friends in this life, but it has been you guys that we received over 1,500 messages. Over 1,500 messages of people expressing their condolences, giving us their love and their support, and most of all, sharing their stories. Some people that I know in real life, some people who I've been very blessed to meet, have shared their stories. There's other people in this world who are going through this right now, and that alone has made us not feel alone. One thing for certain I can say is, while there's been times of loneliness, there's been sadness, there's been pain, I personally have never felt more supported by my people. And it wasn't just me you guys were looking after. It wasn't just me that you were expressing your well wishes and your thoughts towards. The amount of you that said amazing things to Becca, for Becca, gave me advice on how to help Becca through this time, because all the pain that I'm feeling, she's got to be feeling it 10 times worse, man, right? And that's really difficult as a loving husband to see. I've never really been one who loves sharing my emotions online. Like, yeah, I love reacting to wrestling, and there's been times where, yeah, I have allowed myself to cry and to feel pain, but I gotta be real. I've never felt pain like this in my life. This is something that I could not and would not ever wish on my worst enemy. It is not something I wish anybody ever to have to go through in life, because it is so tough to have your future sitting in front of you, all these dreams, all these hopes, all these visions, and it just it's not there anymore. And I know everything happens for a reason, and I'm not necessarily the most religious person out there. I believe everybody has their own sense of morality, and that, you know, they are more than welcome to choose to follow whichever faith they wish, or however you wish to look at faith, right? Faith to me is not just one way for anybody. It is just something that is individual, and however you process, I don't know, look, I'm not great at talking about it either, but however you process things, however you get through things, it's different for everybody. And I know at times I felt like, why, right? Why us? Why were we the one in four? Why were we the ones out of all of our friends to have to go through it? I question, you know, what's the plan, right? Why? And I've had so many people say, like, we're praying for you, we're thinking of you, you're in our thoughts and prayers. And just when you hear that, you just, it's an extremely tough thing to question why it is that this test has been given to you. And some people have said that God tests their toughest soldiers, and only the toughest can get through it, and that's why. And I don't know what this plan looks like. I don't know what this is going to mean for the future, but it really sucks right now. What I do know that is, if someday I am fortunate enough to be able to have a kid, that kid is going to be so loved. That kid is going to be the most loved kid in this world because of stuff like this, because of our trials that we have to go through in order to get to that point. And I'm not trying to make this an emotional, sappy thing, okay? Like I said, there's so many people that go through this, and my love and my support is there for you guys. If you have gone through this, if you are going through it, please reach out, please talk to me. Anything that you need to get through this, you got to do, right? And being able to talk with you, talk with my friends, talk with this community has helped a lot. It really has. And like, I'm not sitting here trying to pull some big sympathy card by making this video. The only reason why I'm making this video, and I'm not even sure if I'm going to post it, is because I know that this is how I do part of my healing process. It's how it's going to help me. Not being asked every single stream, you know, hey, what's going on? Where you been? Why are you missing streams? Where's this video? It's out there now. You know what's going on. And that makes it easier for me, because I know not everybody has social media, and I know not every single person reads Twitter or reads Instagram. So if you're one of those people and you're finding out through this video, I'm sorry that this is such an emotional, heavy video. But it's something I need to do. Like, one thing I know for sure is that grief is not linear. I've had some really good days, right? Like, literally just this past weekend, Sunday, I was having a great day. I was out raking the leaves. We were outside. The sunshine was beautiful. I watched football. It was a great day until at night. And at night, everything just kind of came right back. You know, it hit hard again, right? When you're laying there in bed, sometimes all those emotions hit you that you've been burying down throughout the day. And that has continued into this week. And I just know that until I get this out there, until I just finally speak it into a camera, I'm going to continue to feel this weight on my shoulders. And literally, I can feel it coming off my shoulders here just by talking about it right now. The most important part, though, that I have realized throughout all of this is that as a man here, there's nothing that I can do to understand what Becca is going through. The reality of it is that she was carrying our baby. She was growing the baby. She felt the baby inside, and I didn't, right? I never, ever experienced the hormone changes that she was going through, the physical changes that she was going through. And so the biggest thing that I can do is just be there for her throughout all of this. And so I've taken a lot of time off of streams. I've taken a lot of time off of videos to make sure that, hey, even if I'm okay, that she still has the support that she needs. And if I'm not okay, then hey, then at least I'm not breaking down on a stream. You know what I mean? My goal was to get back to streaming on Monday, which was last night. And clearly I didn't do that. It was the right call. And just, man, this is a lot tougher to get through than I thought it was, but I'm glad that we're talking about it. My new goal is to get back to live streaming this Friday. I've got a guest lined up on Conversations this week. We've got another guest lined up for next week. So like I'm getting back to normal, as normal as I possibly can be. And the one thing though that I know that I have to carry forward with me is that this happened, right? This is not something I can just choose to ignore. This is not something that I can just say, hey, yeah, this happened, but it doesn't matter, right? It wasn't real. You know, back to normal life, push it away, push it away. The more I do that, the worse it's going to be long term. And I need to be able to process the information, accept that it has happened, and be able to move forward. Not move on, but move forward. And as rambly as this video is, I think it is hopefully going to help somebody else out there who is going through this. So if you're able to, and by no means do you have to if you're experiencing some pain right now by listening to this video, but if you can, share your stories with us down in the comments section below. Knowing how many people have been through this, like one story that I read was the most beautiful story. It was shared with me on Twitter. I can't remember exactly who it was from, but this wonderful family was trying on 7 different occasions. Let me reword that again. They were trying on 7 different occasions and lost 7 babies along the way, but they eventually got their family. They eventually got their beautiful family. And so that's hope, right? I don't know what the future holds. I don't know if this will ever happen again. We will never have a innocent pregnancy ever again, right? There's always going to be fear. There's always going to be concern. And it's not just going to be extreme happiness right from the get-go. It's going to be excitement followed by nervousness. And I don't think that will ever disappear throughout any future pregnancies we have. But the hope is there. Reading all of your stories, people who have shared that they had a miscarriage and they went on to have a beautiful, healthy family. People who have had multiple miscarriages go on to have multiple children. All those things, they've really helped us. And again, I really, really appreciate all of you for sharing your stories with us. Myself and Beck, we literally sat down and we read every single message, every single one. Now, I wasn't able to respond to all of them. So if you're like, hey, Con, why the hell didn't you say thanks? I'm saying thanks right now, okay? And I don't think anybody's actually thinking that by watching it, but that's where my brain goes, right? The stupid internet. As much as I hate the internet, I love it for moments like this where communities come together, where people show support for one another. And it wasn't even just me. It was amazing to see people in the comments section replying to each other with their own stories, with their own experiences, and showing compassion for each other. The internet hasn't been the most compassionate place this year. It hasn't been the most compassionate place in the last few years. But moments like that really do show that there's a lot more good out there than bad. And sometimes the bad is the loudest, but when there's moments of good, you really have to take it for what it is. And there's a lot of really, really good-hearted people out there. You guys watching being one of them. That didn't make any sense. You guys watching being one of them. You watching. You, the one person watching right now, being one of them. I also haven't been the best at eating, so if I look a little skinny right now or my face looks rough, I haven't shaved or anything like that. It's because my wisdom teeth have really prevented me from eating, and I'm tired of applesauce. I'm tired of mashed potatoes. I'm tired of just liquid food. The only thing that I've actually really enjoyed since this has happened has been the Italian wedding soup from Eastside Mario's, which it's, you know, you can only have so much of that. So I know that the two together has not been easy. My body wants to heal, but it's not getting the nutrients it needs to heal. And so until that happens, I'm going to be a hungry man 167 over here. But I do plan on getting back to normal. I've already figured out ways that is going to help me. I plan on going to the gym more. I plan on making some more videos. I've sat down and I've created some really cool series ideas through this because, man, the one thing that I always love to do is when things are going on in my life, I love to throw myself into my work. I love to think about different series, different concepts, what I can change, all that. And that's what I've done. And that is how I've been able to pass some of the time throughout this and make it easier on myself. But by no means does it just take the pain away. Again, though, the only thing that I can really say here is that if you are going through this, if you have been through this, you know how much it hurts. It's a loss just like any other loss, but it's a loss of dreams more so than anything, right? You don't see it coming, and you don't expect it, right? And certainly on your first pregnancy, you know that it's a possibility, but you just think it's not going to be us, right? There's no way this is going to happen to us. Especially when you see an ultrasound, especially when you finally get to see your little nugget in there. Sonny was this big, man. Sonny was this big, and we got to see him one time. He said hello through the ultrasound, and then that we unfortunately lost him after that. He stuck around long enough to be able to give us that glimpse. So yeah, I have no idea even if I'm going to post this video, but thank you for listening if I did. Thank you for sitting there and being just the amazing people that you are. I truly appreciate you guys. I'll be back to streaming this Friday. I truly plan on being live this Friday. And I know people are going to say, take the amount of time that you need, take all of it that you need. But for me, I need to get back to my life. I need to get back to something that brings me so much joy. And that's talking with you guys live. That's watching wrestling with you. That's creating content. So we'll be back soon. Thank you guys so very much. Love you. We'll see you soon.